problem. Safe, Clair.
Force back already so low. Redx taking down two, taking down one.
Immediately, this should be all she wrote. Soaks with one on the icy.
Stand kill the whole squad. rotation was for Cumberland, but St. Clair breaks through. Oh, gaining lead.
Situation now 1-on-1, 1 HP on this solo. 1 bullet is a
4-person, 1v5. Stand against the rest.
Guy to this ball, guiding it down, maybe even get one for the road.
Our own standards here in this overtime period, because if we concede a goal, it's over for them.
He's doing a lot of damage, but he's got to keep you over. He avoids Ego.
Bob Waena, no flash, no problem. St. Clair.
Horse back already so low. Reddick's taking down 2, taking down 1.
Immediately, this should be all she wrote. Soaks with one on the icy.
Stand and kill the whole squad.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nexus at St. Clair College. We're back for some double dose of League of Legends this week. A rescheduled game against UTD finally has come to fruition, and we're here to end the NACE season off with a bang, hopefully. My name is Evan. I'll be your host tonight, joined on the desk by Thermal Rex and Hayes. Guys, welcome to the desk tonight. How we feeling?
I mean, honestly good. The loss last Tuesday was kind of a little bit disappointed, but, you know, I'm looking forward for tonight's game, no? How about you, Thermal?
I mean, I'm a big fan of League. I've been playing the game for like 15 years now. I love League of Legends. Great game.
Very passionate about. Would you say you're more passionate about League of Legends or Rocket League, if you had to pick one?
Legally, I gotta say Rocket League just to keep my job.
That's smart. You know, that is smart. Thermal Rex, our resident Rocket League varsity head coach, joining us on the desk tonight. You know, it's always great to see some cross promotion. You know, some coaches coming in on the desk. You know, it's always nice to see. But let's talk about the game we got teed up tonight. I think Miguel sort of brought up a good storyline to start with. It was a rough Tuesday for the St. Clair League of Legends team. You know, a match against Cumberland that on paper they should have won, weren't able to, coming up short, fell in 2-0 fashion. I'll start with you, Thermal. What does St. Clair need to do tonight to rebound after that loss Tuesday?
For tonight, I think we just gotta lock in. I'm gonna be honest. I think we had a pretty sloppy game against Cumberland, but today, talking with Maddie. Seems like they talked it out a little bit, figured out solutions, figured out their draft. I think we're gonna have a great game today.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Thermal as well. That they have a lot of errors last Tuesday as well. I saw that. I mean, they need to just switch it up and then win this game.
Absolutely, but we're going to get some insight from the players themselves because we have Miracle standing by for an interview. Get into the mind of our resident support player, Miracle. Welcome to the show tonight. We were kind of talking about it on the desk. Big chance for you guys to rebound tonight. How are you feeling going into this game, and what is it going to take to get the win to end the NACE regular season tonight?
I feel like we feel pretty good going into tonight's game. It feels like an easier opponent, and pretty sure it is an easier opponent because they're like 0-5, I think, with their current record is. But obviously, we still need to play a clean game. We need to play our game, and we just need to lock in a bit.
I just got one question for you, Mike. With the recent patch notes coming out yesterday, I know you're a resident Bard enjoyer. What do you think about the new patch buff to Bard this week?
I think the Bard buffs are decent. They're not that good though because you don't really build a lot of AP on Bard, and like 10% changes to AP ratios aren't that big. Maybe like building Shroya second is pretty good, but other than that, the buff Bard is already in like a good position, but it would just propel him even more forward.
All right. Last question, Mike. So, are we gonna see Alistar tonight? He's your favorite hero. I saw they played Alistar last Tuesday, and minor errors, but we will see him tonight. What do you think?
I mean, maybe we'll see some Alistar. Obviously, Alistar is one of the strongest supports on the patch, I think, just because he's one of those blindable picks. It makes him easier to slot into any draft, and especially with how versatile he is as support, it just makes it so he can shore up some weaknesses, which we're not prone to any weaknesses, but if we are, I got the team. So
awesome.
All right, thank you, Mike, for joining us on the show tonight. Good luck tonight against UTD. Hopefully we get a good result tonight.
All right, thank you.
Always good to get some insight from the players directly. I think you guys brought up some good questions. You mentioned the new patch notes that came out yesterday, I think was, quite literally yesterday. So this is still really fresh in the minds of a lot of players. And this is going to make a difference tonight, at least going forward in terms of the meta. I'll swing this to you, Thermal. Looking at the patch notes, what is something that's like a big change you think that's going to really change the meta in League coming up? What's something that people really need to be aware of?
I mean, with the recent patch notes that came out, we saw some tweaks to some items. We saw Doran's Blade get reverted back to 14.1, I believe, and with some small changes like to Bard's W, and I believe Ezreal's attack damage growth got buffed a little bit. But there was a couple here that we'll see now. For example, the buffs that ended up coming to like ADCs in the Yone were pretty small, I'd say. There was a small like 80 base buff. Like Yone, I believe, went from 30 base damage to 32. Like at the bottom there you see adjusted. There's some champions that got moved around a little bit, but I think the biggest buff for at least us in general for St. Clair is definitely that Bard buff. Like Mike spoke about, like how it's not that really big for the W and the AP ratio, but he is definitely a Bard enjoyer. And I'm hoping to see his Bard out tonight. Well, that would be exciting. And, maybe he's just trying to downplay some of it because, he needs to figure out how it's going to work within the meta. It is going to be interesting as well because, you play a game on Tuesday on the old patch. Now you're playing again on the new patch. So definitely going to be something to consider. Hayes, I'll swing it back to you now. Anything that you see on these new patch notes that's really going to jump out to somebody, or what do you think is super important about these new patch notes?
Honestly, they're actually good buffs right now and adjustment, yeah, but they're changing all the startup items as well. It is actually good so that we have like good startup. We might see like a good clash in as soon as they get on the Rift or something, right? So yeah, I think I'm looking forward for this update and patch. No, it is going to be interesting to see, and we're going to have to see if St. Clair is going to be able to rebound because, the big story, like we said, coming into this game was that it was a really tough loss, and I think on Tuesday, I should say, and I think Mike kind of set it up well in saying that,
on paper at least, this is a team that has had their struggles this year. 0-6 UTD is this year. But despite that, they still have some decent players. Arya, their top laner, that's going to be a player I was told to look out for. That Arya-Ricky battle in the top lane, definitely going to be an impactful battle that's going to have throughout this game, and we can talk about that. We know Ricky has had his struggles in top lane recently, sometimes over-aggressing when he doesn't need to, dying in inopportune times. But we're going to see if it's going to make an impact tonight. We're going to get a look at our starting lineup. Just a second. We'll see if they do slot Ricky, and they do. Ricky in the top lane, Alonso your jungler, Flocon, Lig, and Miracle your mid, ADC, and support respectively. Thermal, looking at this lineup here, this is a pretty standard comp for the St. Clair League team. Should they expect victory rolling out this team?
I think other than the top lane, I think that's going to be a pretty close matchup, like you said. It just depends how Ricky's feeling on the day. But comparing to other lanes, I think it should be a fairly easy matchup for St. Clair.
Well, we're gonna have to see how Ricky's feeling. I mean, coming fresh off of a Hot Wings video recording, hopefully he's feeling good and ready to go, feeling spicy in the top lane today because he's gonna have his work cut out for him. Miguel, who's your star in this lineup? Who's going to be the one to make the big impact play tonight?
Honestly, Miracle. Because he's like the support in here. Like, he needs to get picks. He needs to get a clash going on. He needs to flash in, create the space as well. Like, he has a lot of stuff on his hands, no?
He does have a lot of stuff on his hands. The support role is so critical. Teaming up with Lig, Lig typically picking those hyper carry characters, these movement heavy auto attack characters. So having a rock solid support like Miracle, huge and critical in securing that bottom lane for St. Clair. But there are going to be battles all around here. And, you want to highlight Flocon as well. So strong in the mid lane. Had some incredible moments on Tuesday. Unfortunately, St. Clair wasn't able to take it as a team effort, but a lot of good stars on this team, and they have good ability to change their lineup when they need to. Alonso being the jungler this time instead of Maddie. You have some other options you can slot in as well if you wanted to. So very versatile team, very deep team this league squad is for St. Clair. But they're going to have to be at the top of their game. Like we said, they can't play down to competition tonight, especially when it's the last week of the season. You want to make sure you finish over 500 at the end of the NACE regular season to set you up better in playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing I do believe that St. Clair really needs to focus on this series is their mid game. They have a pretty strong early game, and when it comes to late game, they can finish strong. But their mid to late game is what's depending today. I know, especially in that Cumberland game, they definitely got punished in that mid to late game. And there's one thing to notice about St. Clair is against the better teams, they can definitely punish those teams because of how good their early game is. But when it comes to these lower level teams like UTD today, they might get caught off guard on some of the things that they may do in the mid game, where maybe Lig, or something we've seen from Lig and Flocon, where they maybe get a little too greedy, a little too aggressive, getting out some extra tower hits when they should be backing out, chasing down a couple kills when they should be resetting.
And that's definitely something to watch out for. You talk about playing down a competition. You absolutely cannot do that tonight. At least on paper on Tuesday, the Saints had the advantage over Cumberland, and they threw. Quite frankly, it was a bit of a throw in certain situations, not able to get it done. Miguel, I'll swing it back to you on this one. What does St. Clair need to do tonight to make sure they secure this win?
Honestly, just less error. Like last Tuesday, we see a lot of unnecessary clashes. Unnecessarily dash from Alistar last night. Like there were like an error in there. Like I think I saw at least three times she just like stand there like dashing in, like he just stand there after he dashed, like, oh no, I messed up or something like that. So I think just less error, and then as much as possible like less clash as well. Like we poke, if we peel one, we go back, and just gain more experience and gold.
Sounds good to me. I mean, we'll see what the team thinks. We're getting closer to the draft coming up. We can sort of highlight some things to maybe expect in the draft coming up. St. Clair, usually when you get this blind pick coming through, they usually like to pick, their top first, then go jungle mid. What are we expecting to see out of the draft tonight for St. Clair, keeping these new patch notes in mind?
Speaking with Maddie, I know that Ricky might have some restrictions on the Scion. I know he has a difficult matchup today, so they might put him on something more, I guess, sustainable and less prone to just running it down. But we'll definitely see if UTD will let Alonso go through with either a Mumu, maybe a Nunu. We'll see what comes out from there. But today's draft is going to be an important one.
Seems like they're all important, especially late in the season, and this does have, not necessarily playoff implications, but you obviously want to have a good end to your season going into playoffs potentially. And, like you said, it does start with the draft. It's crucial that St. Clair is able to find the comp that works best for them and, counter whatever UTD throws at them in response. Miguel, what do you think St. Clair is going to do with their draft strategy tonight? What is the big play that they need to get done to make sure they have a good night tonight?
I guess basing right now, since we have the new patch as well, like it's really hard to distinguish right now. Like we can see we have a good patch for mid lane, and we can see a good patch as well on top lane. So it's either those two they picked well. Like we might see a Gangplank in there as well, Kisante for Ricky. Last Tuesday I saw how Ricky played Kisante. It was actually good. It's just that tough because no one can rotate for him and try to kill the top Fiji last Tuesday. So it's really rough for him. But I think I'm looking forward to see Ricky tonight, just dominate the game.
That would be good. We need some domination and just a big X factor to come out tonight for St. Clair. And maybe Ricky is going to be the one to do it. Thermo, who do you think is going to be the X factor tonight? Not counting Ricky. We'll say somebody else.
Somebody else? Tonight, with the small buffs and little adjustments coming at ADC, I think Lig is gonna have a big impact this game. I know Yunara got a buff this patch, so maybe we'll see that come out today. But I definitely think the top lane's important between Ricky, but I also think that Lig is gonna have a very important play in this game.
We're going to have to wait and see. But, guys, we're really getting close to the start of this game. Let's talk predictions now. I think we've already sort of set the scene with how these two teams match up. UTD still looking for their first win of NACE. Now would be a great time for them to shock the world and find their first win. I'll start with you, Thermal. How's this one going to go tonight? What's your prediction?
I'm going to say that it's going to be St. Clair 2-0. I think, yeah, it's going to be a close matchup in the top lane, but it's a team game. You can't just have one lane bulldoze and then just expect to win the game. League of Legends is a team game. Yeah, one lane can affect the game, but in the end, it's who's just the better team.
And I think that's a really great way to say it. I'm kind of in the same boat here. I mean, just looking at the teams on paper, obviously, I think the safe choice in this situation would be St. Clair, but I got to take the safe choice. I mean, it's safe for a reason. I mean, it has to be obvious here. I'm going to say St. Clair in a 2-0 as well. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is the revenge game, right? The bounce back, right, is so huge and so critical for your team mental. Like we said, talking to Maddie and other players beforehand, they worked it out. They figured out their issues from their loss against Cumberland on Tuesday, and I think this is a perfect get-back game for them. Should be a fairly easy 2-0 for them, but you can't fall into the trap of a trap game and playing down to your competition. But with that being said, I still think it's going to be a 2-0. Miguel, what are we feeling?
I mean, I'm in the same boat with you guys. We're Saints for a reason, no? We're looking forward for this game. And seeing the lineup right now, we have Alonso, we have Miracle as well in the lineup. I'm looking forward to this game, no?
It's going to be good. I mean, you talked about the roster. We talked about just how deep the team is. When you look at the side of UTD, obviously they've had their struggles this year, Arya being their top player, but a full rework of their roster from UTD from last year. I was talking to Miracle about it. Last year he was saying that UTD was a fairly well-rounded squad with some really good players. He's talking about how UTD lost deftly in the offseason. This is a player that is an ex-LCS player. I mean, this is somebody that does have some clout to their name. But, gentlemen, it's draft time. We're here. First couple of bands coming through. What do we see?
I mean, we see the Gwen Gwen banned off the bat, and I'm pretty sure Gwen got a buff this patch, so that buff definitely did something significant to get her banned on St. Clair's side. And there's the top ban banning Ricky's Gangplank, who he was playing in solo queue today. And it looks like we have the Mbessa ban coming out. It's not a bad ban, pretty good ban. Seems like St. Clair's getting rid of a lot of engage comps right now. And like I said, will we see the Nunu come out? Not today. UTD banned the Nunu in the second ban of tonight. Let's see who else.
Was a Wukong coming
they
through as
banned
well? What do you
Wukong.
you got some thoughts about that, Miguel? I mean, you piped up immediately. What does that say to you? Are they going to try and shut down the junglers with that ban coming through?
Yeah, honestly, the Wukong was like actually good ban because we, for the record, like all this season, like Wukong has been like coming back and forth for St. Clair, you know. So that's actually a good ban, you know. Like, and next one we have like Vladimir, right? If I'm correct, and then you can see Ricky picking what is that again?
Ricky picking the Ivern. We could see that in support. I don't think it's a jungle pick. I don't think I've seen the Ivern jungle recently. And the Fiddlesticks pick coming from UTD. It's like that's a pretty engaging champion right there, Fiddlesticks with his ultimate.
And that's the matchup you're looking at right here, Ricky versus Arya. At least on paper, you can talk about it quickly. Just by looking at picks alone, who has the advantage?
I don't think that's actually Ricky and Arya's pick, but I don't think they're going through picking. In my opinion, I think that's the jungle. We might see the support, but seeing a Fiddlestick support is not something normal. There is the mid lane pick coming out from UTD with the Ari, and it looks like St. Clair is gonna go with the ADC, and I'm assuming support, bringing out the Sivir. Pretty strong champion. Got some pretty good wave crew with her Q and W. Waiting on the next pick. We have the Gragas coming out.
That's an interesting pick.
Miguel,
honestly,
what are your thoughts on Gragas?
Gragas for Ricky on top. I think this is gonna be like interesting for the game tonight. Like Gragas top, so easy to push and clear lanes, honestly. And you can see on UTD right now they're picking Alistar. That's
there you
crazy.
go. You had predicted that we are most likely going to see some Alistar being played today, but UTD being the ones to pick it first as we get our next wave of bans to come through. UTD with the first pick.
Yeah, we see the Braum banning out Mikey's Braum. I know Mike is pretty good at that champion, so I'll give him that ban.
Maybe a specific pick to try and shut down Miracle.
That against a Fiddlesticks, Ari, and Alistar, that's a pretty good ban. Main thing about Braum is he has a big door as a shield. So one of his abilities can stop the RE, Q, and E. So we'll see what Mike decides to go with there. But on the St. Clair side, we have another top lane ban with the Aatrox. And it looks like UTD's just banning out Mike. There's the Leona and the Braum.
They target ban Mike here. That is crazy. They ban like 2 supports pick for Mike here. They already pick Alistar. They ban Leona and the other one. You know, like it's crazy. They're target banning. Like I said earlier, like it might change the game. Mike might change the game here tonight. Like the supports need to they're the one who's like need to do the engaging, do the clash. If they poke, just poke. If they can peel, they peel with the support, no?
Well, St. Clair taking a long time with their final ban, but finally coming through, and I believe that's Jace, the final ban for St. Clair, as the rest of the picks coming through on the side of UTD. 2 more picks for either side, as both team comps finally come to fruition. I mean, still too early to say. We're really just talking about, just based on what we're seeing so far, one more pick from either side coming through. Who do you think's got the advantage?
I mean, I don't know. I see a Draven and the Sivir picked right now. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if that's something new with the meta. I don't know if that's current, but that's something different. We could see the Draven in the mid lane and the Cassante and Vayne coming from UTD. Vayne's a little bit of a weird pick, picking that into a Sivir, since Sivir can shield her stun. But Sante in the top lane for Arya and Gragas for Ricky. That's going to be a pretty big matchup in the top lane.
It's going to be a good match for the top lane. You know, you highlight, you know, we've been talking about it all night. It's like how big this top lane battle is going to be. And I mean, just on paper, you know, we got two solid characters all around. It's going to be really interesting to see. And, you know, maybe St. Clair, you know, picking some unconventional picks in this case. Maybe they're feeling a little bit more confident going into a game against a team that, you know, does have a lesser record on paper. I'm hearing we're getting ready to go into game. Gentlemen, give me some final thoughts as we rapidly approach the start of game time.
I mean, just from that draft, I think this game might get decided through the mid lane. We do have a Draven going into Ahri. That's a pretty tough matchup for the Draven, I would say. Yeah, he can dodge abilities pretty easy, but Ahri has a lot of movement to get around that Draven.
Honestly, I'll go with the jungle. Like, it's gonna depend on the jungle. Like, he'll change the flow of the game. No, if Alonso gets a lot of kills on each lane, like he gets like a lot of rotation, good rotation, good kill, good poke. Yeah, I think jungle might change the game in here tonight.
I guess if you're throwing it back to me, I'll put my 2 cents in as well, just as we're rapidly approaching, like we said, the start of the game. I'm going to say the support is really going to come into play here. You know, you talked about how UTD was really trying to target ban a lot of characters that Miracle is going to be playing tonight, so I think having a big game from your support is going to be huge if St. Clair is going to be successful tonight. Like you said, League of Legends is a team game all around. You need contributions from everybody. Having that, you know, bolstered up bot lane with a solid support, you're going to have a good time if you can make things go your way. But you can see the guys on stage right now, they are already locked in. They are ready to go. So close to game time now. Man, just you really hope that St. Clair can end this regular season of NACE with a win. I think that would just do so well for the team morale. Just a nice boost as we get closer and closer to playoffs. But it's gonna have to all happen on the server. Everybody's got to leave it all on the floor tonight. Everyone's got to do their best. But I still think it's going to be St. Clair as we transition into Summoner's Rift. Already got first blood on the side of St. Clair. Gentlemen, take it away.
I mean, that was huge. St. Clair invading UTD on the top side, picking out the Fiddlesticks jungle. I think the Draven in the ball lane ended up getting that first blood, which is huge for that Draven. Getting early kills on that Draven, getting them early items is gonna just slowly snowball him through that lane.
Yeah, that was like a good honestly. Like, they got the first pick, like it was so good. Like we're talking about earlier, like we need to gain a lot of golds here, like good CS, good gold lead, good experience lead as well. Yeah, that was we'll take that. You know, we'll take that first blood in there for Draven.
That was my mistake on calling the Draven mid. The silver mid makes sense now against Denari with that spell shield. That's a pretty easy matchup for her. But looking at the top lane, it's the Vayne top actually. I think they did a lane swap here. We might see the Sante and Moss lane. They did a lane swap. Can't remember if that got nerfed or not. Started seeing them, but it is what it is. This should be a pretty nice matchup for Lig and Mike now on the bottom, with Lig getting an early lead. But nothing too much happening. A big wave going, crashing under the tower. Cassante struggling to get a little bit of fun down there, but engaged from the Alistar. Now it's going in, helping out the Draven, keeping him off.
I mean, they're just gonna like play back in there, honestly. Like I said, poke, go back, poke, go back. If we can peel, we peel it. No, that's actually good for St. Clair there. And we can see here, Flocon trying to like make Ari here stay on underneath the tower. In here, you can see here.
I mean, Flocon.
Crazy damage here for Flocon right now, and Ari's gonna TP back because he has no mana. And right about here on top as well, Riki just playing safely against Cassante here on the top, you know, just playing safe because it's really hard if we got like a kill on top, like XP wise as well. It's gonna be hard for them to like catch up, no?
Yeah, definitely. The silver mid though, that's we saw that earlier trade, seeing how aggressive Flocon got, but he's allowed to do that because that spell shield, whenever Art throws an ability at him, oh, hold on, we see an engage coming from Xante, Vayne taking down Ricky in the top lane.
Oh, that was my bad. I thought it was Cassante on the top, but no, it was Vayne. That's my apologies, guys. And we can see here, Flocon and Alonso trying to gank here, but Alonso's just gonna pull back, you know, and Flocon just gonna CS here, and we can see on top right now, Ricky trying to hold that tower, you know. We need to like hold this fort right now because it's gonna be hard. And we can see here 3 people on top trying to, you know, kill Grega's top here, but he's just gonna stay on that lane.
Iron going in for the dive on the ball lane. Miracle tanking the turret. Can they get to Cassante? Miracle getting out. Turret damage doing half of Iron's HP. Lig still taking it. Cassante 1 HP. Mike goes down to the tower, but Lig gets another kill onto that Draven.
That's okay because Draven just need to get item, and then whoa, you can see her Flocon just kill Ari on mid. That was crazy kills right now from St. Clair, and we can see her on top. Ricky trying to kill Vayne here, and he killed Vayne. Nice, and you can see her trying to get out, but no, he can't get out in time. You know, it's really rough right now for Ricky because has 2 lanes in there, and he's like alone in there. Honestly.
That trade at the top lane for Ricky was pretty good, getting that one out of that roam from the Alistar. But Iron slowly jungling. But let's take a look at that mid lane difference right now. 44 CS to 25 against Ahri. That Sivir gets to play so aggressive, and we get a replay on the dive bot lane. Iron sitting in the bush waiting while their bot lane gets to push it up, get a little bit of the tower damage out of the way. Mike engaging, great engage, getting on that Cassante, good CC. Cassante, 1 HP, walks back into the Ivern brush. That's the one thing that ended up letting him get the kill on that Nautilus.
Yeah, that was like a good assist from Mike because we need like Draven to get a lot of gold in here, get a lot of items, honestly, so that, you know, they can just like gap them, and we can see like we have like a gold lead right now. We're on gold lead right now, and kills as well. Like we are 4-3 right now, and yeah, it's so interesting now. Like we play pokes, we pull back for a bit in here. We don't really need to engage that much. Like just, you know, like typical day, you know, just poke, run, and if we can kill, we kill. No?
Yeah. Now the kills might make it look a little bit closer, but X-Flash coming from the Miracle gets nothing out of it. Looks like they're trying to set up a play in the ball lane with the Ivern close behind. Is he going to be seen by Vision? He does get seen. Mike going in with the hook. Gragas trying to get in there. Ult coming out. Alistair gets pushed back. Mike getting the stuns off. Well, they don't have enough damage to secure the kill on the Alistair. A good counter gank from the Fiddlesticks, who ends up getting caught out from too much CC from that Nautilus and Ivern. The Daisy knockup coming out with Mike's auto stunning that Fiddlesticks in the ball lane, securing the kill, and letting them secure the dragon because the Fiddlesticks is dead.
Yeah, that was like good engagement from Miracle. You know, it is like I said, a good engagement in here. We poke. If we can kill them, like we kill that. We shot them down right away. You know, and we see here right now on Dragon.
It looks like the bot lane is trying to delay that Drake, waiting for the Fiddlesticks to come back. Vayne getting on Mike. Fortunately, it looks like Mike is about to got taken down by the Vayne, and somehow, some way, UTD secures the Drake. I mean, that's a pretty bad mistake from St. Clair.
Yeah, not gonna lie there, that was like a bad mistake as well. Yeah, because, you know, we know that they're low health, and okay, we killed one, but at the same time we just you know, think about it. It's gonna be hard for that to, you know, secure that dragon in there, you know.
Now, the kills may make the game look close, but it's all about the farm difference right now. Like, in the mid lane, the Flocon, 25 CS ahead of the Ahri with a kill. Who's that? Lig, almost 30 CS ahead of the Vayne in the bot lane.
Yeah, that was like so crazy, and he has like items already, and while their Vayne is like having a hard time getting these items right now, and we can see here they're trying to grab void grabs right now, and we can see UTD right now just playing safe for now. Like, okay, we got a dragon, we just like to need to play safe for now. We know they're getting void grabs, but who cares? You know, we just farm. We get more farm, we get more XP, you know. We get this, you know, they said. But yeah, we'll see it.
I mean, talking about our predictions earlier, I started talking about the mid lane, but right now in the top lane, Lig trying to go on to that Vayne and Alistar, but they just get out of the range. But going back to this mid lane, I guess
Ricky.
I can't talk about it because there's another fight going in the bot lane. Cassante going in on Ricky again. Ricky under half. Knocks him back in the turret with the ult. That was an insane play by Ricky.
Ricky, my goat. No, that was like crazy combination there and dodges, you know, from Ricky there. And you can see here on top, League, Miracle, and Alonso trying to push this top lane. And we can see their jungle as well trying to push them back here. And Miracle with a flash in, hook, and that was like, everything was too fast right now. And Vayne here getting Miracle, but he's gonna die from Lig. And we can see here, Lig trying to get more kill from Alistar. Alistar just gonna, you know, cover here. That was like good clash, honestly. That was like a good clash there, Thermal. Like, they were like trying to push, and UTD trying to defend that there, but at the same time, UTD just made an error there to engage. They should have like fall back in there, you know?
Yeah, that was right there in that top lane fight. We can see how big of an impact that Draven early kill got. Fiddlesticks ulting in, instantly gets CC'd by the Nautilus and Ivern, and Lig just pop him in instantly. Vayne going in the back line, trying to get out, gets a kill on Mike, but Lig on that Draven, that early kill, the early snowball is already happening, and we can see it. The amount of damage coming out of him, and he only had a couple items.
Yeah.
That's the difference that level 1 invade made.
We talked about this earlier, like, it really depends on the supports, you know, like, if the support played well, like, they can really change the whole game, like, good clash, and we can see, like, Miracle has good hooks in there, like, he changed the game in there, and then now they're leading with 5k gold lead right now, no?
Yeah, that gold diff is insane, and once again, the kills might not make up for it, but it's all about the shutdown and the farm. Lig, what is that, 40 CS, almost 50 CS ahead of the Vayne with 4 kills on the Draven. In the mid lane, Sivir, 30 CS ahead of the Ahri.
That's just 11 minutes, you know, like, it's just 11 minutes. And
this early in the game, that's a pretty big difference. And with how aggressive Flocon is being in the mid lane against this Ahri, it shouldn't be allowed.
See Ricky trying to kill Xanta here. And he will get it, of course, Ricky, you know. We got Ricky in there in action. Ricky's on fire right now, no?
Ricky is on fire, but he is getting fatter, going 3-2 now. He did have a rough start to the game, going down to that Cassante and the early roam from the Alistar, but now he's positive with a shutdown.
And then Flocon just gonna, you know, clear, get more gold here, get more items right now. Like, he's leading a lot against Ahri right now. Like, the gold is just too much. I think, you know, it's so over for me right now. Like, they have like gold gaps, they have experience gaps as well, they have item gaps as well. Like, look at this. You can see here Ricky trying to hold top right now. Can he hold this right now? Like, there's like 3 people here, Vayne and Alistar right now. I think they're just gonna fall back. Oh, wait.
Good poke coming out from Ricky with the 3 men in the top lane. With the tower plates up right now, it shouldn't be too hard for him to defend, but Nautilus hex flashing over the wall, trying to get this tower tier 2 down in the mid lane, but Dari doing a good job. In the ball lane, Cassante trying to 2v1 under tower. Flocon getting some damage off, a lot of turret damage coming in.
Oh, Miracle with a hook! That was a crazy hook, but I think that wasn't enough, you know? That was like crazy hook for Miracle here, but we can see here.
Fiddlesticks all coming in, doing tons of damage to Mike, but the damage coming out from the Iron, the Sivir is too much for Arya. Taking him down under his tower. Alistair trying to keep Lig out of range, but doesn't matter. The entire team is there. Alistair, what are you doing, bro? You gotta play for your team. Nautilus, 1 HP. Can he get out? No, Ari taking him down, and it looks like they're flipping the script on St. Clair, going in onto the Sivir. Vayne, can he kill him? Flocon, 1 HP. Vayne's chasing him down, but can Draven and Ivern keep him alive? Ivern and Draven, 1 HP. Vayne's not stopping the chase.
You can see here the TPs as well. They want Flocon here really badly right now, but they can't. And we see here Lig trying to deal a lot of damage to their jungle. But Casante's just gonna shut down Lig in here right now. That was like so crazy. They're like, we have Alonso and Flocon 1 HP, but they can't, UTD can't kill them properly in there.
Now the shutdown gold going to the Cassante is huge. That is the one person who you don't want it to go to. Arya, their best player on that team, getting that, what was it, 600 gold on top of that Draven kill. Might get him back in this game. It looks like Mike going in, roaming into the jungle, chasing down the Fiddlesticks. Flocon there with him, stun's coming off. Fiddlesticks just has no chance against CC.
Flocon is on rampage right now. He's like going wild right now. He wants this win, you know. He got this goal. He really badly want this win right now. So crazy.
I mean, right now, nothing more to say than kind of a draft diff. And we're going to a replay into that fight in the bottom lane.
And see here.
Mike getting the CC off, and Flocon and Alonso getting that down, securing the kill on the Cassante, and the Alistar 1v1ing the Draven. I mean, come on. I think we all know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
By the Draven. And somehow, some way, the Ari and Vayne from UTD come in and starts cleaning it up. Takes down Mike. Flocon, I don't even know he was looking at the map. Comes in, gets out with 1 HP, but Vayne chasing them down. Can he get them? Cassante TP coming at the same time, and unfortunately, Vayne just misses out on a free double kill.
Yeah, that was like crazy pick from Miracle. Like we talked about this. I'm gonna talk this about again. Supports deals. A support has the show tonight. You know, they're gonna clash here. Oh, we can see here Alonso killed their jungle in here, and League on mid right now, alone, trying to kill their Vayne. Vayne's just gonna back off. Vayne died against League. That was like a good game from League right now. And we see here Miracle trying to get their Alistar. Can they get their Alistar here? Flocon dealing a lot of damage, and Flocon's just like unstoppable. Like we talk about this, bro. They're cooking, bro. They really want this win, you know. They really want this team.
I don't know if I saw that clearly, but I think the Alistar just knocked the Draven into the Vayne.
Yeah.
UTD, come on. We gotta lock in a little bit. But yeah. St. Clair going into the mid lane, getting sieging the tier 3, getting the inhib. Some mistakes here and there, but definitely UTD making the bigger ones that's costing this game. And Sivir just running it down onto the Ari. Gets a free kill.
Dominating right now. Ricky
hits the Fiddlesticks, knocks him back, but nothing to follow up with.
That's alright. They just need to poke there and then see them backing off. Like, you know, we've talked again about this, like poke, kill. If you can just poke, just poke. If we can kill, we kill, no? You see here, Mikey trying to set things up, and you can see here Mike just hitting it up, and Miracle hook again. There, Xante, you're alone in here, Xante. You're not gonna do anything in here, and double kill again for Flowcon. You know, that's like crazy.
It's looking like St. Clair's just sieging the base right now. They're all low, but UTD can't kill a single one. Mikey getting out, Greg is getting out with 1 HP. Lig going crazy on the Vayne. Pops there, gets the... Oh, sorry, that was the Ari. Lig going after the Vayne, gets her now. Alistair's the last one alive, full HP. Mike barely surviving. Alonso barely surviving, but Ricky getting out with that 1 HP. TP's back in, ult comes out. Fiddlesticks gets knocked into the wall and just gets popped like that. St. Clair is on a roll right now, just farming kills in their base. I mean, there's another one. Alistair going in, taking 2 out. But do they get it? Oh, Mike finally falling to the Cassante, but it's just another farm.
League is just free hitting in there. They can't do anything against SCC's, you know, clash there. That was like crazy work for Miracle as well, honestly. And we see here League trying to get their Bane, you know. Nicely kill, a triple kill for League right now.
Lig definitely running the game, but St. Clair is just toying with UTD, leaving their Nexus up, trying to get their KDs up, and Flowcon just gets taken down by the Vayne. That's not too good for the KD here, but Lig can just auto the Nexus to end the game, but it looks like we're kind of playing with our food right now. Lig farming in their base, baiting their team to come out while they wait for their Nautilus to come up.
I mean,
Lonzo still there. Malphite takes the Hex Portal behind them, but nothing comes out, and it looks like it's going to be a reset from St. Clair.
I think
setting up for the Baron.
Yeah, I think that was like a good decision because they're like down 2 as well. Like we see Flowcon was down and Grigas was down as well. Like Ricky was down, so it's really rough to like, you know, just push that out. You know, like I think that was like a good decision for St. Clair here to just pull back for a bit. And we see here Ricky, Miracle for the hook, and Ricky on the basket. That is crazy, you know, crazy kill for crazy set for Miracle and crazy kill for Ricky down there.
I mean, Mike, 5 and 16, trying to be a part of every kill he can right now. Ricky inside their base, getting rolled down by the Cassante, but here comes Mike and Flowcon dropping onto the Cassante, almost got him now, and now Draven on their backline, getting their Ari, but Ari takes down the Draven Vayne, going down to Mike, and now we have just the end game, where St. Clair can finally end the game. They're leaving it down to the second, letting some Mickey things happen, but finally, St. Clair wins the game.
It was in dominant fashion from St. Clair, but I think you said it really well, just playing with their food a little bit too much at the end there. An opportunity to end it, but St. Clair electing to reset before fully committing to this final fight, but really was dominant. I mean, you talk about Flowcon and Lig especially. I mean, you saw it both godlike in this game. Insane games from both of them, and gentlemen, I have to say, it is definitely apparent why UTD is winless so far in NACE. So far, I mean, we take a look at the stats at the end here. I mean, you can see it on paper for yourself. Limitless, the one with the most picks for UTD at 7, but when you look at the side of St. Clair, domination on all fronts.
That is really crazy, and you can see here Alonso without zero death right now. Like he can't die, you know. It's a rough work, honestly. It's really good. Like he's the game changer here for tonight's game, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw a lot of St. Clair players running out with 1 HP, maybe 1 to 100 HP, but this game definitely was decided through the mid and bot lane. Like I said, that top lane, yeah, it's a tough matchup, but one lane can't win you the game. We saw Ricky go down early to Arya, but in the end, Flowcon and Lig getting that early kill, letting him snowball the game, and Flowcon getting the early CS made the difference.
He's got 2 phones because he had 2 kills in that game, 1 for each. I mean, Like you said, it really came down to that top lane fight, and that was really good. Ricky falling early, these were some of the mistakes we're used to seeing, but those reinforcements coming in to bolster those top lane fights. Once St. Clair got the wind in their sails, there was no stopping them. You saw every single team fight they were engaging with, somebody was coming out of it alive for St. Clair, or at least flashing out with 1 HP. Just complete domination on all fronts. Like you said, the ramp, the gold diff, way too strong in that case for St. Clair, and they just became too powerful, way too fast. UTD just had nothing to do but wait for the end of this game. I mean, we didn't even get to see Baron in this first game. I mean, this was quite the impressive and swift stomp for St. Clair. Now they're already up 1-0. I mean, now when you take a look at game 2, does UTD change their strategy when it comes to the draft, or do they just let it go, just let it go the way of the last game and just hope that St. Clair doesn't find a comp that just absolutely wrecks everything they try and throw at them?
I mean, we gotta see some better drafting from UTD. That Ari early pick just set him up just for the Sivir, and we saw that's how aggressive that Sivir was in the lane. Up 40 CS when it was like 15 minutes, I think. 40 CS, that's huge.
Insane ramp early.
Insane.
Yeah.
But we gotta see some better picks, some better draft lineups. I know we want to pick Daria. I know we want to pick these early champions in our first round, but I think UTD has to play for the counters. Pick the jungles, pick the supports, leave your most important roles for the end.
Well, I think we saw UTD strategy with their first go-around was potentially shutting down Miracle, like I said, shutting down those supports, but clearly it didn't help when you have Flocon and Lig just going absolutely crazy in their respective positions. Miguel, you're on UTD. You're coaching them through the draft. What do they need to do to potentially find a rebound against St. Clair?
Honestly, they just need to shut down Flocon at this point, because we can see how Flo can just dominate the game. We talk about this as well. I predict that mid lane's gonna dominate the game as well. Okay, I also said that jungle might dominate the game, but at the same time, we can see how much gold gap Flocon against Ari that game 1 in there. The UTD just having a hard time to catch up, and we can see Flocon just CS7, it's just CS, bro. CS, yes. We're just pushing, and we can see here Alonso just smiling in here, he got this, and Flocon just another
chilling.
Day, another game. No,
literally. I mean, it seems to be business as usual for St. Clair. Looks like we're gonna be sticking with a similar lineup, although I can't tell who's sitting on the other side of Ricky.
I think that's Lig.
Or FaZe.
Yeah,
I
think that's
Someone
Lig,
get
bro.
Ricky to move out of the way so we can see who this final player is. But I mean, I wouldn't change the lineup if I'm Coach Matty. I'm just keeping it the same because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, you talked about how dominant Flocon was. Maybe UTD needs to ban Draven as one of their first picks to come through, but
we could
look at
hear
the replay. I mean, you can see for yourself, folks. I mean, St. Clair winning most of these fights. I mean, Ricky's going to lose this top lane early, but in the early 1v2 situation, still, though, losing this fight, but is still able to get a pick on his way out. Still at least giving some value to St. Clair.
Dude, he's on gap. He's 2 against 1 on top lane, but still he dominates them in there. And yeah, it's just I'm just speechless for that. They tried the new patch. I think they were trying to do a new strat now. They're trying to the ADC support on top, and then their top lane is going bot lane, but clearly didn't work. No.
Yeah, I mean, this year's we did see St. Clair kind of snowball this game, but that doesn't go without the mistakes they made. That early game Dragon fumble. Getting that Fiddlesticks early, getting the priority in that ball lane, that should have secured him an early Drake. And mistakes like those can be huge. And like I said, St. Clair has a good early game. Mid game a little fumble, but this game it's kind of the opposite. Their early game was a little bit on the rough edge, but their mid to late game was pretty well.
Well, like you said, you can't make these mistakes against teams that, again, I don't want to, dump on UTD too much, but, you do have to say, against these stronger teams in NACE, especially when you look to playoffs. St. Clair can't afford to have these, like you say, these slow early games. They need to make sure that they are locked in before. And if I'm Coach Matty, I'm telling the team, look, guys, that was a great win to start, but we need to make sure that we're locked in from the start. Make sure our early game is just as strong as our finish. And I mean, we're looking at the finish right now. At least one of the two final fights in the UTD end that St. Clair was able to set up, and you can just see it now. Just everybody on St. Clair completely dominating East. Everybody so far ahead in terms of CS, in terms of gold, just so strong the difference was. And St. Clair was just able to run it down no matter how they wanted it to.
No, yeah, this is definitely, I think, a very good game for St. Clair. Definitely shutting down Ari on the top lane. I don't want to say anything bad, but I didn't really see much from him other than the 1v3 in the bot lane, getting a kill from the tower. But we did see more from their ADC, a little bit from their mid lane, getting into that back line, taking down Lig on the Draven. But I think we gotta see something more from that top lane. It's all depending on how that top lane goes. If Arya's having a bad game, right now it looks like UTD might have a bad game.
So if you're UTD now, like you said, you need to make sure you shut down that lane. What is your strategy going into the draft then? How do you change things, and how do you adjust your strategy to maybe find yourself in a superior position to what you had in game one? Because quite frankly, I that was a pretty rough performance in the first game of the series.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing UTD needs to do is switch up their pick lines. Definitely picking that mid lane early for that Sivir was a little bit of a mistake on their end. We saw the Sivir just running down lane, clearing farm like it was nothing. The Ahri not being able to do much in that lane. Maybe leaving that till the end, giving maybe that and the top lane the second pick phase, and maybe letting that ADC going through the first. But I think they definitely need to switch what lanes they're trying to play through.
Yeah, I mean, like Thermal said, like the Ahri pick on mid, like it's really bad, like they could have like picked other champions for that. Like, okay, we didn't know like what they're gonna pick for mid lane, but at the same time, Ahri on mid is not, it's not on the meta right now. Like, but I think it still depends. Like, if their top lane and jungle was like doing good on gold gaps and can gank well, okay, I'd agree on Ahri, but we can see a lot of error as well for him, like just dashing around there and then having a gold gap as well, and experience wise as well, like against Flowcon. So yeah, I think they just need to switch it up now. It's either they're gonna switch up their mid lane or their supports. Like, we can say we can talk about this as well. Like, I think they target ban Mikey here. Like, we can see all the sports. They pick Alistar for them, and then they pick like two of Miracle's best pick as well, but it didn't work. Like they thought target banning and then grabbing the best pick hero against Miracle might win this draft, but no, they just ended up failing.
They ended up failing, but a successful draft on the side of St. Clair as you sort of flip the script there. I mean, if you're St. Clair, I mean, you feel like you don't really need to adjust too much of your strategy. It feels like no matter what UTD is going to throw at you, they're going to have a response. Everybody on this team able to play multiple characters, able to change things up. Maybe UTD was trying something a little bit unconventional to throw St. Clair off of their game, but clearly it was not meant to be. I mean, just complete domination. I think if you're UTD, you talked about, or Miguel, you talked about shutting down Miracle. It's what they tried in this first draft here. I mean, but I think it's Flowcon and these mid laners you really need to target. We get back into this next draft. Ubesa, the first ban coming through on the side of St. Clair. It looks like we might see some similar things targeted here. This engage comp going to be targeted out early.
Yeah, definitely. That Ambessa keeping it off the Arya. Right now, from what I know, I think St. Clair is pretty scared of that Ambessa for that second ban coming out. The Vlad ban coming out from UTD. While we're waiting on this second ban phase, it is a fearless draft, so as much as we'd love to see the same champions picked in this second game, unfortunately we can't. They can't pick the same champions twice.
Honestly, I think they're just pressured at this point. Like, I've done a research from SSE. I mean, we play Vlad, but at the same time, it's not common. You can see it on games as well. No. So I think the ban Vlad was like kinda terrible ban for UTD here, and then we can see on the second ban on SEC Gwen again because he's a meta, I think, right now because the new patch. So they were like so afraid of Gwen right now. I mean, UTD might be playing Gwen as well at the same time. We can see.
Yeah, definitely. The band's coming from the SEC, definitely targeting Arya right now. With the Gwen in the best, Gangplank coming back on Ricky, banning that out, keeping it off him. Maybe they saw what he was playing today. They definitely know what he's played before. But that Ricky was on the Gangplank earlier today in solo queue. Wukong coming out. Miguel, I know you know a lot about Wukong.
I think I don't know, that was like, I mean, he's on the good meta right now, Wukong. But at the same time, I don't know. I think that's like kind of a little bit of a blind pick, blind ban, honestly. And we can see on third ban, what is that? Thermal, I forgot.
Kalista ban coming from UTD. Did get buffed a little bit today, but keeping it off Lig. We saw the Draven last game. Kalista, good ban here. Zoe, hovered by St. Clair, gets picked up as the first pick. We could see that in the mid lane. Definitely a mid lane pick. But we could also see Mike pull it out. You never know. Flex picks. See some weird things happening here. We saw a Sivir and a Draven pick last. And now, UTD, hover the Mauser, now on the Mel. Mel definitely would be a strong pick. Ooh. Similar to what Sivir was. Instead of a spell shield healing, and I believe getting mana to Sivir, this one will reflect the damage. So if Zoe hits you with that massive range Q, that thing can come back at you and one-shot yourself.
Yeah, you can definitely get one shot in there. But I don't know, I think that's like an interesting as well. Like, we pick Zoe and then they're just gonna pick it against Mel right now. But, you know, seeing this, like, we all agree that Zoe's gonna be on mid. You know, wait, I can see Yasuo in here. Yasuo? Oh, this is like an interesting pick. I don't know, like, probably Zoe on support or Yasuo on mid lane. Like, this is interesting right now. And I mean, we can see on UTD, we can see Silas as well. Like, I think Silas can go mid as well at the same time, and then Bell can actually play support in here.
Yeah, Silas, flex player, like you said, can play. That can also be your jungler potentially as well. So options coming through for UTD, but St. Clair, you know, some interesting responses as well. You know, we're going to get this third and final pick of this first round before we go back to the rest of the ban phase. What are we predicting? It's going to be Senna, I believe, coming through for UTD, if we got that correct. Thermal, we got some analysis on that coming through.
Yeah, definitely threw me off a little bit on the UTD side. Thought that Mel was mid lane, but now we have Senna coming in. Could see the Senna and the Mel in the bot lane. I like that Silas pick because that can be going anywhere. We can see it in the jungle, we can see it in the top lane, we can see it in the mid lane. Definitely doing what we spoke about. Kind of getting these kind of like okay picks, okay lanes, out in the first place and focusing on their carries. So, ban coming out. Diana also got a buff this patch, keeping it off of Alonzo.
Seems like most bans targeting the characters that got impacted from the final, or from the most recent patch notes, I should say. You know, St. Clair picking the next one, Riven, gonna get banned out from St. Clair. What does that mean on the side of UTD?
I mean, St. Clair, 3 of the 4 bans going right towards Arya. St. Clair knowing that Arya is going to be picked in the second phase, trying to get him off as many comfortable champions that he has. But looking from it, he does have a pretty wide pull range, champ pool. So we'll see what we pull out here. But St. Clair definitely doing a smarter thing, taking out their strongest laner.
Definitely a smart strategy there. I think UTD, or whoever this final ban was, they definitely took their time to figure out who this last ban was. It does finally come through from St. Clair.
The Dr. Mundo coming out, another ban towards Arya. what is that, 4 bans? Maybe 5, you count Wukong in the top lane. Targeting Arya, trying to get him off of as many champions as they can. And we see from UTD side, not as many support bans coming out. 1, because St. Clair definitely picked it in the first round with that rel. But 2, I think they're starting to understand that maybe Mike is not as big of an issue as they thought.
I mean, definitely not. I mean, obviously still a good player, but I think, you know, UTD has a different strategy in mind. I like where St. Clair's head's at, you know, trying to ban out, you know, champs for Arya, you know, is their best player on the side of UTD. And I mean, game 1, I mean, a non-factor for the most part. St. Clair able to take care of their business. You know, these final picks coming through. Still need to figure out who the final ban from St. Clair is, but look at this. Coming through on the side of St. Clair. That was locked in pretty quickly.
I mean, we spoke about the Nunu earlier today, seeing if it will come through, and we got it now. We'll see that Nunu coming in for Alonso in the jungle. Lucian picked as the ADC. UTD definitely did their job in draft, throwing it off a little bit, picking the Mel first, could be support mid. Then picking the Silas, top mid jungle. Then picking the Senna, definitely in the bot lane. But now their actual ADC comes through. So we'll probably see an ADC Nyla with the Senna in the bot lane, Mel in the mid lane. Waiting on the last pick from UTD. Waiting for Arya's top lane pick. See what comes through here. A lot of bans coming, targeting top lanes, both Ricky and Arya. UTD definitely taking their time here. Waiting. Covering the Malphite. Very good early game. Has a lot of poke with his Q. That'd be pretty good against Ricky in the top lane, getting that early damage off and then waiting for a gank.
It seems like, at least from where I'm standing right now, looks like UTD is really trying to focus on this early game pressure. I think they know that they had an opportunity to maybe take a step in their direction in the early game, but St. Clair, you know, despite the mistakes, were able to rebound and recover. I think UTD, their strategy now is they want to try and take the pressure in the early game on their side. They want to make sure that they get the start that they really didn't have last game, and don't let St. Clair get a chance to just snowball like we saw in the last game. But gentlemen, you know, we see the comp coming through on St. Clair. At least on paper, what do we see? Who gets the advantage? Where is the big fight going to happen?
I mean, I like the mid lane picks. Dari last game into a Sivir, pretty rough matchup. Now we have the Zoe into the Mel. It flipped other way. That's a pretty rough matchup for the Zoe. Yeah. If that Zoe gets her Q off with that ult, getting that extra range on it, Mel just presses one button, that thing's coming right back at you. We can see a big difference in the mid lane now. But
yeah, like I think that was like a gamble in there against Mel there. Like they're playing Zoe in there. Like it's they're getting a huge disadvantage in there. You know, like Thermal said, like one button, that missile come back to Zoe, he can just get like snapped in there in one place. You know, but honestly for me, if you're gonna ask me, I think the Riki top Yasuo. This is like a good, just a blind pick. Because I've researched Riki as well. This like uncommon pick for Riki to play Yasuo on top. You know, I mean, I've seen before like 2018 to 2017, Yasuo was like dominating in each lane. I mean, not each lane, like probably top lane and mid lane, and yeah, this is like an interesting play for Riki right now. Like, I like how Ricky's gonna play here. Like, he's gonna like play back, play poke in here. He need to like all his dashes needs to come in there, and how he's gonna set this up in here. You know, so for me it's Ricky because with the Yasuo right now.
It always comes back to Ricky, it seems. You know, just that player. I mean, we're going to see who's going to be the X factor for St. Clair. We're just about ready to get into game time. Obviously, the boys have gotten started. We're just waiting for the spectator delay to come through. But I kind of feel confident in the boys as well. You know, you talked about Ricky, how big that matchup is going to be. Yes, it is an unconventional pick coming through for him, but these guys play at the top of their game. We saw their capabilities in game one. if they can get a good start, if they can counter what UTD is trying to get through, just get that snowball working early. We saw if you let Flocon and League just dominate, UTD is going to have a lot of problems. And especially UTD letting that new come through. That's a pick that St. Clair loves to roll with. This is definitely going to be another character, another big impact position that St. Clair is going to have to, make sure is at its full strength if they want to take advantage of what UTD is throwing at them. But I think they should be all right.
Yeah, the draft definitely better from UTD this time around. I will say that ball lane looking kind of scary. That Senna into a Rel and Illusion. We could see her getting cut out a little bit too easy just from Rel's engage. But one thing I do want to bring up is Yasuo. Crazy. Top lane, Ricky. There is a big stereotype between Yasuo players though. You gotta have one run it down or carry the game. So hopefully we'll see the latter.
Well, I think it is going to be the latter. We know that Ricky likes to play this aggressive style, but we don't have to wait too much longer to see how it's going to go. Gentlemen, it's game 2. Let's see what happens.
Yes, thank you, Evan. There, but yeah, that was like an interesting draft as well there, and then I can see there as well that UTD has like an interesting draft there. Like they're playing for like magic types as well, and we can see here Miracle and
Then coming in from St. Clair again, this time not really getting a kill out early for Lig, but definitely got some vision.
But
Got, what is that, 1 minion? Looks like we destroyed a ward. W ward gold.
honestly, I think that's for the better good, like we're just playing for poke here. We have like Anunu here, like just snowballing there for a bit, and we can see here they're just like backing off right now. They just need to play back in here. And wait, hold on. Is Ricky going on mid lane?
I think we're getting another lane swap between Ricky and Flocon, this time on St. Clair's side. Zoe going into top lane, definitely a better matchup for Flocon here.
Honestly,
Doesn't have to deal with that Mel spell shield. Redirecting her missiles back right at her. Yeah, definitely easier for Yasuo to deal with Mel than Flocon.
This is so interesting now. Like our prediction was wrong. Like I thought Flocon's just gonna go against Mel in here, but no. Like we can see here Ricky playing mid for today's match or second game match now. So this is really interesting, and we can see here there's Silas trying to getting their blue buff on SEC side jungle, but here we can see a Ricky trying to get those dashes in. He needs to get those dashes and golds, and Flocon just taking his time here, like getting more golds and everything.
Yeah, Silas going for the early invade on the blue side of St. Clair. Looking to get a gank off early. He could go top lane or mid, but goes into the mid. Bot lane getting some damage out under the tower, but Lig taking a lot of damage, having to reset. Silas going back into the jungle. No early ganks coming from him, but definitely a big fight in the bot lane that turned out worse for St. Clair here.
Alonso here, just farming it, just farm more, and he probably didn't know that his blue buff has been taken by their Silas already. Like that was like a good push for like UTD Silas to get their SEC's blue buff in there, no?
Definitely, Silas clearing out of the jungle, got the extra gold from the St. Clair blue side. Ricky Alonso invading the red side of UTD, gets spotted out by a ward. Ricky going in, Alonso looks like there's a fight in the mid lane, but separated. Alonso trying to help out Ricky, securing the Raptor. Looks like Ricky gets the Raptor, but Alonso taking damage onto the Yasuo. Ricky getting out, takes some damage from the Mel, but nothing too much other than that Raptor exchange.
Yeah. That's so interesting in there for Ricky, and Ricky here trying to get Mel in here, but not gonna get in there. See here, Ricky trying to kill Joy in here, Mel, and he got the first blood. Ricky as Yasuo in mid lane. That is really a game changer here right now, and we see here Lig trying to chase Silas here. Can he chase Silas in here? Nah, it's just like you know what? Let's just fall back in here. We don't really want to like poke hard in here. And Miracle is on the tough spot. They can see here. There's Ward in there. Lig, free hitting in there. And Ricky trying to get there, Nunu, and Miracle's gonna go down. Ricky's just gonna fall back, and Lig's just gonna go down again in here. That was like a bad spot for SCC there. Like they just went too deep for there.
Yeah, definitely going back on what we spoke about before this game, the early game for St. Clair. Mistakes like that, over-aggression, chasing down the Silas, going to push that's warded, and then losing that fight in the river.
We see a replay. Like, there's a ward in there, Miracle is just in there, and Ricky trying to like, engage here, help them, but ended up Miracle just dying in there first, so it's so hard for them to go in back in there, and Ricky's just gonna like, you know what, it's okay, I got this, guys, I'm gonna carry you guys with my Yasuo mid, no?
Yeah, definitely. Hexlash coming in from Mike, trying to engage, goes in for the stun, misses, but Lig getting some damage off onto the Nyla. Alonzo there with the snowball, engage coming out, stuns going everywhere, but St. Clair disengaging from this fight. Too much damage being blown out by the Nyla, the Silas, and the Senna. This early game for St. Clair in the bottom lane's not looking too good. A lot of fights going on, but not the way St. Clair wants them to go.
Yeah, I feel you there. Like, Lig is just having a hard time right now. He's like, he just got level 4 right now, and we can see here Zoe Falcon trying to kill if he can kill Malphite in here, but just ended up just gonna pull back in here. But look at this, like, look how gap are they in right now. But wait, looking here at bottom lane, Miracle trying to get Nyla in here. Lig, no, you should have like pulled back. Miracle's trying to defend you in there, but that was like disappointing. That was like an error again in Lig in there,
Another fight in the bot lane going to the side of UTD. It's definitely not what St. Clair wants to happen. It's the opposite of what happened last game. We saw St. Clair's bot lane going through. Ricky getting the kill on the Mel, but he's going to run into the Silas. Silas getting some damage off. Misses the stun. Ricky sidesteps it, knocks him up. Can he get him? Ricky on a killing spree. 6 minutes into the game. This is definitely the better Yasuo you want to see in your games.
Oh my god, Ricky on Yasuo mid. That was like really unexpected in here. And see here in the replay, Ricky's trying to chase Mel in here, get that Hasugi in there, and then he get Mel in the mid lane. That was like a crazy play again against Ricky in there, and then we can see here he's trying to get off, but their Silas just miss every single skill in there in the book,
I mean, Ricky going off in this mid lane. St. Clair trying to secure an early Drake. Can they do it this time? They have the pressure. They have the numbers. Almost there for the smite. Alonzo gets it out. Finally, St. Clair secures an early Drake this series.
Yeah, that was like a good objective in there, and yeah, just like falling back. And look at this, like, I want to talk about our top lane here, our Flowcon top lane and Malphite. Like, look at their gap right now, 69 CS and 41 on Malphite.
Yeah.
Like, it's so rough for Malphite to like lane against Flowcon right now. It's like having a hard time playing in here. And you can see here, Miracle and Big just gonna like play for pokes, we don't really want to engage. And here Flowcon trying to kill Malphite. Oh, there's Miracle here. Sorry, Ricky is trying to kill Jin here. Malphite's gonna die. Nice, a nice kill, nice rotation here for Ricky in here. And Suggy, that's not gonna land in at time, but that was like a great rotation for Ricky in there as Yasuo on top,
Ballin, another fight going in. Mike having his ability to disengage, get out of there. And we're looking into the mid lane. Ricky coming in through the jungle, not warded. Blocks the stun from Mel, goes in. I mean, there's nothing Mel can do here. Stun goes off, ult goes off. Mel trying to deflect something, but can't. Ricky getting another kill in the mid lane on this Mel. Whoa, we got some roamers coming up. Nyla up in mid lane with the Senna. Ricky low enough. Just can they get something off him? Alonso there. Silas jumping in on Ricky. Gets the shutdown. Finally, UTD, something in the mid lane goes their way. Getting a good shutdown onto the Silas.
They just really want to kill Ricky in here in mid lane. They're like so mad that like they're like, yo, we need to kill this Yasuo. It's like 5-0 mid lane. I need help on mid lane, guys. Like, but ended up Mel's just dying in there on mid lane first before they can actually get Ricky to die on mid lane.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a very close game between what's happening in the ball lane and what's happening in the mid lane. That lane swap between Flocon and Ricky, allowing Ricky to be more impactful this game. He's already 5 kills up, 1 death. Going back to the replay in the top lane between the Zoe and the Malphite. Gets the stun off. Here comes the missile. Boom. Malphite gets taken down. Arya once again being shut down in the top lane.
Yeah, Vulcan's just having good time on top lane. And see here, Miracle trying to get engaged in here. And Lig trying to get someone in here. But Lig, can he escape? Yes, he can get a kill. And Lig will go down. But Alonso trying to kill someone here on bot lane as well. Ended up getting one as well for SCC, you know?
I mean, this Nuno's in every lane right now. We saw him top lane a second ago. Now he's in the bot lane. They let that Nuno go through, but look how impactful Alonso is being right now. Mike getting the stun off onto the Silas, but can make nothing from it. Silas taking the Rel's ultimate, but
I think
Mike and Alonso pulling out.
Yeah, I think that was like a good poke in there. Like they're just trying to test if he's like gonna engage or not in there. You know, that's actually a good initiate for Alonso there. And what? You can see Ricky there with Hasagi in there. And Silas trying to kill Lig in here. But no, Ricky's in there. You can't kill my ADC that quick in here. And Ricky trying to get a kill but ended up dying. And as SCC just trying to pull back in here. We get the kill, we pull back. But yeah, Miracle's just gonna end up dying in there. But I think that was like a good trade, honestly. Like they're killing their jungle in there. Like they're already gap and their jungle is dead. Like, it's hard for them.
Engage coming from the Malphite onto Zoe. Arya, can he get this off? And there it is. Flocon getting to sleep. The missile comes through. Malphite's dead in the top lane. And the jungle. One thing we've talking about, St. Clair getting over aggressive. Staying there for too long. Getting picked out. 1, Yasuo gets caught. 2, Mike gets caught. They gotta be more.
Yeah, I apologize that I didn't see that. Okay, they're like at least 3 down on SEC there. That was like, I think that was like an error in there. But at the same time here, Lig is here trying to clash here. Miracle's trying to engage here. That was like a good set for Miracle. Lig trying to get Projecti here and he'll get the kill, double kill in here on bot lane. That was like crazy set for Miracle down there.
Huge fight going out in the ball lane. Nyla just missing her ult on the Lucian. That's huge for St. Clair's bot side. Going to a replay now, back on that bot side fight. You can see Lig just getting out of that, and Mike with the double stun, ult coming out, and the dive in. It's just suppressing that Nyla.
That is crazy, you know? They're like, and here on top lane as well, like, oh my, Zoe, Flocon just playing around against Malphite in here, like, oh, it's here, bot lane, Lig, and Miracle trying to go back, and we can see Miracle just stunning Silas here. Silas is gonna pull back, and Silas grabbed the wrong ult in there. That was like an error for UTD. As SEC is just gonna pull back in here at time. Whoa.
I mean, these fights, like we're saying, St. Clair's getting a little too greedy, a little too aggressive, staying too long. Every fight right now, except for 1 or 2 maybe, are going to the side of UTD. It may not look like it, but all of St. Clair's gold are on 2 champions, the Yasuo and the Lucian. And right now, Lucian and Mike, Lig and Mike, overstaying. Not really, there's 3 there. Alonso following in. TP coming in from the top side. And Alonso getting a 3-man stun. Ult's going off. Silas denies the Nunu ult from going off. Senna gets picked off. Silas gets picked off. And 1 left in the bush. Nyla, can she do anything? Ult goes off. Tries to get the pick on Mike. But St. Clair coming out on top in a big fight in the bottom lane. Ricky going in the top lane, but just takes too much tower damage. And gets taken down by Arya.
And that was like a wonderful set yet again for Miracle, stunning 3 people in there, and then Alonso just setting up the snowball in there and getting 3 again, you know? Like getting there, dashing in, Silas trying to hold there, but it's just like free hitting in there, you know? So like it was a good set for supports in here for Miracle, just stunning 3 there, and then back with a backup of Alonso with snowball, you know?
I mean, yeah, definitely a great fight to St. Clair. Finally, 1 going to them. And right there, we saw the Mel deflection coming out, deflecting that Zoe stun, allowing her to get away from that missile coming her way. Mike getting some deep wards into the UTD jungle. Waiting on a bush. Mel doesn't even know he's behind her. Mike looking to get in there. Waiting the Raptor. Flashes over the wall. Gets stuns off. All's coming out. Rel, see Senna coming in, saving the Mel, and Mike just gets picked off. There's not enough damage coming out from that Lucian. The deflections coming from the Mel and that her bubble going back towards the St. Clair side. Huge fight for St. Clair. Huge fight for the UTD, allowing them to get some pressure in the mid lane. But one thing they cannot do right now is secure objectives. 2 dragons, 1 Rift Herald. Alonso looking to go in. Mike Lig getting his ult off, getting some damage off on the Senna, but smart calls going out, leaving out that fight. Just back up, reset. You guys got gold. Let's just play some time right now. Flocon trying to get some poke out, throwing her stuns out, getting those Qs off. Alonso going back to farming. Huge fight in the mid lane right there. They could have gone greedy. They could have expected to go for the fight, but looking again, Flocon getting the Q off. Mike trying to get some stuns off. Mel just out of range of the sun. Ricky looking for that ult, but nothing coming out of it.
Oh, we can see here Alonso with a Rift Herald trying to push tower, and we can see Ricky. Ricky's gonna dive in here. Wait, no, Hasagi. Ah, okay. But that was like a good push for Alonso in there in tower, and then he's gonna pull back here for a sec. Like, just doing objective for now, you know? Like, we don't really need that kill that much. Just play for pokes, you know? Push tower, play for pokes. That's all we can do for now, you know?
2 charges coming from that Rift Herald, huge. Taking down that tier 1, getting some more damage on tier 2. Mike getting some jungles in the ball lane, setting up for the dragon coming up in a minute. Nothing much to do here, but like getting some free poke on that Nyla, trying to force the wave under the tower.
Did you see that big damage in there? That was like crazy, honestly. Like, just playing for a bit in there. So yeah, you can see here, Miracle trying to get 1 in here, stun 1, but UTD just gonna fall back because they don't really want to engage that much in here. I think, yeah, that was like a good decision for UTD to just fall back. We just really don't need to clash that much right now.
I mean, Dragon's coming up. St. Clair looking to force the fight. Gets a pick on the jungler of UTD. That is huge. They get the siege of the mid lane. Dragon's coming up in 15 seconds. This is the moment St. Clair wants on their side. Early game didn't go as good, but Arya going in with the ult, misses everyone. Stuns going out. Ult coming out from Senna, and not doing too much. Not enough damage going out either way. In the top lane, Ricky just running it down towards that Mel. Knocks her up. Gets her again. Ricky just getting free kills on that Mel. And this is what St. Clair wants. Ricky gets to push in the top lane, split push, while they secure objectives. Again, another Ocean Drake going towards St. Clair with a massive gold lead now.
They have like 6k gold lead right now. Like, I don't know about this. And see here, Miracle trying to dive in, kill Malphite in here, and Alonso will get. Oh no! Flowcon get the kill in there. That was that was like a crazy work for this too, you know. Oh, we can see Ricky just dying alone in here because he's like against two people on top in here. So it's really rough playing Yasuo in that much in there. But I think that's a good trade.
I mean, it's looking like Toronto with all these Drakes for SEC right now. 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
Ocean Drake, Hextech, and Cloud. One more Ocean to get that Ocean Soul. 20-11, 7k gold lead. SEC, you're on a roll right now. Keep going. Let's hope that UT can get something else so we can get some more action out of this game. But it's looking like it's going towards SEC. Atacon spawning on the boss side already. You can see at the map, Nunu right there, ready for the take and starting it instantly. Lucian, Lig, and Alonso on that Atacon, but in the bot lane, Senna just face checking a bush when you have a ward. I mean, come on. Mel going down to the Lucian. All four St. Clair bot lane are on the roll. It's a 3v4 Nunu roll coming in. Can he get the Silas?
No,
Guess not.
he did not get the Silas. I mean, I think that's fair. Like, UTD know they're gonna push Atacon in here, trying to get Atacon. Ooh! Until Malphite trying to grab Zoe, Flowcon in here on bot lane, and ended up getting Flowcon. Yeah, and just Dig here trying to get farm a little bit. But I think SEC is just gonna back up here for a bit, you know?
I mean, once again, Malphite going into the bush, trying to save the ward. Sentinel coming out, Malphite taking all the damage he can, but his team's not there. UTD, where are you? Support your Malphite. Going in, onto the Nunu. Nunu gets cancelled. Double kill, coming in for Lig. Now SEC just running it down the ball lane, trying to get all the UTD members out. Can they go for the ace? Malphite, Nunu ball getting stopped by the Nyla. 2 alive for UTD. Lig in their base, over the wall, getting an ult out, misses all the shots, but this is great for SEC. Oh, Lig gets caught out by the Senna stun, and Mel and Senna take one back for the mistakes they made in the ball lane.
Yeah, that was like an interesting clash there for SEC. Like, they were just playing pokes here. I think at this point they're just playing for their goods, you know?
I mean, Arya going in, trying to save the ward, gets into that bush, but his team is not there to support them. And again, looking at this back, Yasuo, Lucian doing damage, getting up there, taking down, running it down, snowballing through that lane. Another big fight in the mid lane. Flowcon gets picked out, and Mel takes another kill. This is what we spoke about on the desk. St. Clair getting greedy, getting too aggressive. Their lead slowly getting chipped at by UTD.
Yeah, I think they just really need to lock in now. Like, if they really want this win, like, 0-2 this, like, they really need to lock in here. They don't really need to play for their foods. Like, we push this, you know, it's game. And we see here Alonso
coming in from Alonso. Can he get around the wall? Hits the wall. Lucian out, coming out, expecting the snowball to go through, but nothing from it. So SEC going to the ball lane, looking to help Ricky seize that a little bit more. SEC needs to figure something out soon, because with these picks coming through from UTD, and we might see another one here slowly pushing into the bot lane jungle. Silas securing the walls. SEC, a lot. Flocon's not there yet, but good rotation from UTD, getting the pressure out of the ball lane.
I think they just need to fall back in here. SEC just need to fall back because we have a Drake incoming at 10 seconds in here. You know, we need to get SEC need to get this objective before they actually do a clash here. But we can see here in mid lane, Lig trying to get killed there, but no.
ults coming out everywhere. Nunu ults come from both sides. Ricky takes down the Nyla. Mel, huge damage coming out, taking out the Rel and the Nunu. And another huge fight going to UTD. Flocon trying to get as much damage, trying to buy time, but nothing can stop UTD from rolling this fight in the mid lane. Another objective, another fight going towards UTD. St. Clair getting too aggressive, playing for greed.
Yeah.
They just need to play the time, group up, play the objective. Lig looking to get a pick on the Silas, gets an ult out. All the damage coming out, the entire ultimate from Lucian going out through on that Silas. Lig getting scouted by that Mel, but nothing coming out of it.
That was a huge kill for Lig in there, trying to just solo kill Silas in there on their enemy jungle in there. That was like a good kill, and we can see our Baron is already up. And SCC will take this, you know, because they don't have Silas right now. Silas is down, and we have like 5 men in SCC alive. And we can see here
UTD waiting, getting the wards over the bush, but nothing can stop St. Clair from getting this dragon. No smite from UTD. St. Clair with the Baron power play now. We did see UTD get some good fights, get an objective earlier. The gold did get cut down to 3k, but this drift is Baron. The gold they will get from him will definitely make St. Clair a stronger team now with these powered up minions coming in the top lane, powered up minions coming in the mid lane. All UTD have to do is play the waiting game. Go for picks, clear the waves, build up the gold. They've been doing the entire game. They've been getting the picks on St. Clair. They've been clearing the waves. They're just playing, waiting for St. Clair to get greedy.
Yeah. So like I said, we just need to play objective, and at the same time, they need to stick right now. SCC need to stick for the players. And Flocon, ooh, that was like a huge damage there on Flocon in there as Zoe. That is crazy. And here, so they're trying to play for picks in here, you know, trying to grab someone. If we can poke someone or get a kill in here, they need to get it, you know.
St. Clair pushing up all their waves, trying to create as much pressure as they can onto this UTD base. St. Clair going to the mid lane, gets the tier 3. UTD looking for a place to go in, looking for a spot to engage. Silas with the Nunu ult. Stun coming out from the Yasuo, gets deflected back into him. No one's big Malphite up coming in, hit into the backline onto the Lucian. Stun's going out. Both Nunu ults coming out, but the Malphite gets taken out by the Lit. And now Silas, that Zhonya's not gonna save you, bud. Ricky securing the kill on the Silas. Mel just getting taken down one by one. Nyla, huge ult going in, taking damage. Nyla living 300 HP. I don't even know what's going on anymore. There's so many abilities on the screen. St. Clair taking down UTD. Turrets going down. All that's left is for the Nexus. St. Clair 2-0 UTD.
Yeah, it's like over, bro. As soon as we get that mid lane in there, it's like over, ladies and gentlemen. That was like a huge game changer. Like how they just went in there trying to grab a pick in there. But I mean, they got set by their Malphite, but at the same time, it was like a good thing for SEC to, like, you know, engage a fight in there, you know?
It was a good thing indeed, because they can secure that win. Get your jackets on, ladies and gentlemen. This series is over in 2. St. Clair getting that much needed win. We talked about the scoreboard right now. A much stronger game on the side of UTD. Definitely made things a little bit more interesting for St. Clair. More mistakes coming through in the early game. We talked about it, this aggression, this over-aggression, you know, getting greedy, looking for these kills, you know. Definitely made it a little harder for St. Clair to get the win, but they got the result regardless. Lig top fragging for St. Clair. Ricky, a really strong game from his Yasuo with 10 picks for him. Miracle, another strong game on the support with 22 assists for his 4 deaths. On the other side for UTD, the top fragger, tie between Arya and Joey. I thought St. Clair did a really good job at neutralizing Arya, but again, this over-aggression and greed definitely led to some instances where they should have won team fights, but thankfully they were able to secure more objectives. They had a huge gold lead, and once they got Baron, it was just over from there.
Exactly. I mean, they'd get a little bit shaky there for St. Clair, but UTD doing their best, staying in the game, getting those picks.
Here's our MVP for the series. It's going to be Lig. I mean, massive games in both map 1 and 2. 12 picks, top fragging in this last game. 5 deaths, 6-6. Vamos League in this case. He's going crazy for St. Clair. Definitely earns the MVP for the Saints tonight, and we're going to throw it to an interview with Lig himself in just a couple seconds, but I mean, definitely worth it. And there he is, Lig. Got to keep the hat on. It must be cold inside. Lig, I mean, just walk us through it. I mean, 2-0 for you guys was pretty easy, but some mistakes coming through in, in certain situations. Just kind of walk us through that second game there.
I mean, the second game was weird. The draft was like different. I didn't like that much, but we still have like a strong side in Lucia and Rel, and I think Zoe going top is really good for us because Malphite was like useless the whole game.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick question about those early game bot fights. I saw that you guys, compared to game 1, you guys had a pretty strong ball lane into that with that Draven pick and an early pick in that invade. But this game coming around, you guys had a little stumble in the ball lane. A lot of the fights not going your way. How did you guys come back from that? How did you guys regain?
I think we have a good like macro, like almost perfect, so we always can bounce back. That's SEC.
Yeah, that's so interesting on the bot lane there. I saw that like you guys were like having a hard time, but ending up getting a good kills for a late game. No, how did you do it? Like, how do you get like the late game items in there? Like, despite of like just getting a little bit delayed on bot lane because they're just dominating you guys down there.
Okay. I think the first game was easier because when you play Draven, it's easy to like get an advantage for the passive. And in the second game, I think it was more like a team thing, not like just bot lane. Because Jojo helped us with the TP, like Alonso helped us with the gank. So yeah, I think the second game we bounced back like a team.
Thank you so much.
It really was a team effort from you, Lig. And I mean, last question, this is a big bounce back for you. Heading into the NACE playoffs now, getting a win after a rough game on Tuesday has to feel good as you guys have to prep for playoffs now.
Yeah, it feels good, and I want to give a shout out to Jojo because he's the best. But I don't know, sometimes he trolls. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we won't see any trolling coming up in playoffs. Lig, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the win tonight with your team.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Great to hear from the players on all sides. But I think once that interview's done, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Just give me some final thoughts here. Like we said, a good bounce-back game for St. Clair after a rough Tuesday. How do you think they're looking as they head into playoffs?
I mean, they're definitely looking strong. We've definitely seen a lot of little mistakes here and there with the greed, but I think if they fix that, they can definitely be a contending team going into playoffs.
Yeah, honestly for me, I like how Alonso played in here. Like, he rotates so perfectly on timing in here. Like, we just really need a good rotation for jungle and a good picks for just engaging. If we can't kill them, just disengage. We play for pokes.
They are playing for pokes, and hopefully they're bringing some good energy into the playoffs because they're going to need it because there are some really strong teams near the top of the Super Conference that could give them some trouble. But that is a problem for another day because we are finished with tonight's stream, guys. We want to give a lot of thank yous. We're going to shout out the people in the back room. Prod's going to have to help me if I forget some of the people back there. Alexa, the director tonight. We got Hayden back there on a replay observer. I think Garrett was back there. Believe so. Garrett on the replay tonight. I think I'm missing a couple names. Nicholas on audio. Yes, how could I forget? Thank you, Hostway Observer. I was going to say I'm missing at least one. I think that's everybody in the back room. Obviously, we give a shout out to you, Hayes, Thermal. Thank you for joining us on the desk. Before we get to our sponsor segment, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about these upcoming events coming up for St. Clair. Land of the Dead, folks. Hold on. We're gonna get a better angle on this poster here. Halloween. I know you guys have nothing going on Halloween, so please, if you would be so kind, show up to Land of the Dead, Valorant main event, Overwatch, Clash Royale. There's the QR code to sign up. Some side events as well. COD Zombies, FNAF. I know we got some FNAF stands out there, and Dead by Daylight. Big event, guys. Please make sure to come out if you're there. $1,000 prize pool for these big tournaments. If you can't make it out, you can at least watch the stream. We're planning a lot of fun stuff on the main channel for the event. And if you want to watch some more stuff and are up at 1 a.m. on November the 9th, we're having a World's Watch Party for League of Legends. The poster says it all. Giveaways, raffles, free food, and much more. So that's going to be at the Nexus, 1 a.m. Set your alarms for Sunday, November 9th at 1 a.m. Yeah, the camera's shaking his head. I don't think he's going to be there. Oh, he will be there. All right. He is going to come. It's going to be fun. Worlds happening right now. If you're a League fan, doesn't get any bigger than that. But with that being said, we do need to get to our sponsor shout-outs. So without further ado, thank you very much to Tim Hortons, Subway, the St. Clair SRC and Alumni Association, Onezo, Pre-Fire, and how could I forget Alienware. You guys are the GOATs. You guys keep the lights on in here, and we thank you so much for the continued support of the channel. Guys, I think that's it. I think it's time to wrap, and we're going to wrap it now. Thank you guys for watching the stream tonight. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Happy night.